So right now, the project is, we're still talking with developers, according to Greg. Um, do you think we should be going with more, or do you think leave it?
I have no problem in actively and aggressively pursuing other developers. If you do that, you run the risk of alienating. This is one member's opinion, but the argument against it would be you run the risk of alienating Barry and really, I guess, not instilling any confidence on anyone who wanted to be a tenant in the original project. But the reality is there aren't a lot of projects being done, but if we can find someone who can do it, we need to get on with it. And so I have no problem not making it a secret that we're recruiting other developers, but we're still supporting the original developer if they can make it happen, because it makes no sense at this point, a year out from the default, from when it was supposed to be completed, to keep all our eggs in one basket. It doesn't make much sense to me. The risk of diversifying our exploration it doesn't seem to outweigh the risk of not doing anything. So,
your experience in the business world is what we're hearing, that it's still kind of hard out there to get loans. Things just aren't moving. Is that holding true?
It is, as far as my experience goes. I'm an attorney, so I don't. I wish Tom Oberkfell were here. He could answer that question better than I could. But from my discussions with people like Tom and with Greg, and I know Greg had a conversation with Chris Shane at Barry, and he gave him the example of I believe it was a complex in Atlanta that had a 20-year guaranteed lease with the federal government that still wouldn't be funded. So those sort of anecdotes are indicative, my understanding is, of the economic climate right now. So the position that we've come to, and one that I hesitate to be satisfied with, is that we're just kind of stuck right now until either the market picks up and still nothing happens, at which case we know that it's not the market and it's Barry, or if we find another developer, someone who is able to put up at least 60% of the money to get it done, or something like that. But that's where we are right now.
Do you think downtown can still move forward without the condominiums being realized, with that hole there?
Yeah, I think it is. I think that once the Marriott is done, you're going to have a Champion sports bar in there. I see myself and younger downtown professionals taking advantage of new social entertainment places like that. There's another place going in at Columbia Street. This wasn't happening 10, 15 years ago. I hear more about people wanting to move closer to downtown. My wife and I, though we aren't going to move anytime soon, have talked about moving closer in town. Studies have said that there is greater propensity for formerly suburban Americans to want to move back into the city. There's a kind of an urban revival going on, and I think that Fort Wayne is going to be is going to see that, is going to be the benefactor of some of that. My understanding, and you could probably answer this question actually, is attendance at the Ball Diamond better than it was last year? I heard that it was, and
yes, it is. I don't remember the exact figures. The cautionary note there is, just a couple of rained out games
Sure.
could take that number back down. So they're always a little leery of wanting to tout that too much. But
yeah.
From my understanding, they've had a pretty good season so far. In
Sure.
fact, I think they're ahead of where they were last year.
And they haven't performed as well as last year, and so people are becoming familiar with it, taking advantage of it. I went jogging on a Saturday through downtown a couple weeks ago, and was just amazed at the activity. Oh, and then I played in the basketball tournament, over the Gus Macker basketball tournament at Parkview Field, and my sister-in-law from Indianapolis was commenting on how much more lively and entertaining downtown Fort Wayne seemed than it was just a few years ago. So there are good things happening. I mean, we have a good city here and it's not all downtown development, but it kind of brings a centerpiece to what we think is a good quality of life here.
Well, let's pretend there wasn't the hole there, and let's pretend that Harrison was never even thought of. Mm-hmm. How satisfied would you be with the Tin Caps' performance, with the way the team has stepped up to the plate?
I think the team has done well, and I think the Padres probably did us some favors last year, and I'm totally speculating. But it's good entertainment, you know. It's the Ball Diamond in itself is a jewel of downtown Fort Wayne. It's a central meeting place. They're now opening it up on weekdays for certain hours that I can walk down there and get a hamburger or sandwich or something like that. And so it's becoming what it should become, which is a central focus point and venue for downtown entertainment. I mean, again, there's much more to a city than just its entertainment venue, but we need things that bring us together as a community. A central theme of any organized municipality is kind of its town square, corner square. There's a book I read last summer called Raintree County, which is a fictional account of a town in Indiana, and much of the town excitement takes place around its courthouse square. Well, it's the same sort of thing. The book takes place in the 19th century, by the way, but it's much of the same idea, and that's what the Ball Diamond does. You don't have to be a baseball fan to go down and take advantage of it. I mean, it's also a park. It's great that it's open when the ball games aren't going on. All those things contribute to, I think, a better quality of life in the city.
Let's switch gears a little bit, and we were talking about this a little bit before.
You seem like you have some inside info on the Padres here.
No, I don't. I'm trying to remember. I'm actually, Mike Nutter will have to remind me the next time I see him, but we were actually talking about that, and I forget what his response to me was, because I hadn't brought it up, but someone else had brought it up, and I forget what his answer was, but you look back at last year, and I mean, the season was just phenomenal. I mean, I can't even fathom some of the young men that we got to see play here in Fort Wayne, and some of the great things that happened last year. I mean, it was a storybook. Right. And they just finished up with the All-Star game, and with the home run derby and the skills competition, and a couple of really good days of entertainment and baseball fun, and I mean, it was just a great couple of days.
Sure.
I think they've really stepped up to the plate and have really, taken things as far as they can.
Yeah.
And
he has a good organization.
Some good money back from that.
He does a really good job there, Mike does.
Yeah.